This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 27th day of February in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. Opposition Member of Parliament Amanzo Walton Desir, who shadows the Foreign Affairs Ministry, is calling out the President Irfaan Ali over what she sees as the hypocritical position on Haiti and its citizens. In a statement, she reminded that it was the government of President Ali that reinstituted visa restrictions on Haitians just after he took office in 2020. At the opening of the ongoing CARICOM Heads of Government meeting here in Guyana, the president said the region must ensure that the people of Haiti realize their full potential. But MP Walton Desir said while the president talks that talk before other regional leaders, his government's record on Haiti and the treatment of Haitians do not match his talk.
That it was Irfaan Ali and his government that revoked the visa-free travel arrangement that had been signed into law by former President David Granger. The executive order, Guyanese remember, would have allowed Haitian brothers and sisters, in keeping with Guyana's obligations under the revised Treaty of Chagaramas, to come to Guyana to be entitled to an automatic 6-month stay, and they didn't require a visa. One of Irfaan Ali's first order of business was to revoke that order.
The opposition member of parliament said the actions of the Ali administration has contravened the decision of the regional leaders taken at the 39th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in Montego Bay, Jamaica. In July 2018, which recognized the rights of Haitian nationals to an automatic stay of 6 months upon arrival in CARICOM member states, just like other CARICOM members. She said in an attempt to justify his decision, the president, through the Attorney General and the Minister of Home Affairs, framed the issue as one of preventing human trafficking and smuggling. MP Walton Desir cited the case of the 26 Haitians who were detained by the state for several weeks on the grounds that they were being trafficked before being dumped on the streets of Georgetown ahead of a court ruling.
We remember as well that it was the Chief Justice of Guyana that struck down the deportation order that was obtained for these 26 Haitian brothers and sisters. You remember that the government had gone to court and they had obtained a deportation order. You remember as well that the Chief Justice said that that order had not been obtained in accordance with the rules of natural justice, and that the deportation order flouted and infringed the constitutional provisions enshrined in the Guyana Constitution.
To date, she said no one has ever been charged for the alleged human trafficking in relation to the detained Haitians. The opposition member of parliament said the reality is, when compared to the Venezuelan migrants, Haitians are treated differently, though both Venezuela and Haiti are experiencing political and socio-economic crisis.
Look, we agree that there is a humanitarian crisis on our western border. The government of Guyana has been vociferous in terms of the justification for the aid and the accommodation that it continues to provide for Venezuelan migrants. They say and they proffer that Venezuelans are fleeing from political unrest and economic hardship. But Irfaan Ali and his government must explain to us how the situation being faced by our Haitian brothers and sisters is any different from what is being faced by our Venezuelan brothers and sisters.
There are currently thousands of Venezuelan migrants residing here in Guyana. The opposition MP is now challenging President Irfaan Ali and his government to reverse his decision on the visa restrictions for Haitian nationals. More news coming up in just a moment.
Guyana's agriculture sector is receiving tremendous support from oil companies to aid its expansion. Investment from oil companies in cutting-edge technology is increasing and improving Guyana's agricultural output. SBM Offshore Guyana and ExxonMobil Guyana Limited support two of the largest hydroponics farms in the country. Their support not only creates employment for Guyanese, but also helps CARICOM to reduce its food import bill by 25% by 2025.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Linden, grab your rags, your flags, and get ready for the golden hour ahead. Linden Matrimony Festival. 3 days of high-energy entertainment as we celebrate after hard work. Starting on Friday the 1st of March with Dark, featuring Guyana's youngest and baddest DJs on one stage at Golden Tea Seafood and Bar, 4 Cardinal Wismar. Day 2, Saturday the 2nd of March. We're heading to Rossville for Access Family 4th Annual Season of Soca Juve. You choose water, paint, powder, or the dry section. And the grand finale on Sunday the 3rd of March, Linden Mash Parade, starting from Bay Rock Junction to Retrieve Ground for that mega matrimony concert. It's the golden hour ahead, Linden Matrimony Festival, starting from Friday the 1st to Sunday the 3rd of March. We're bringing it back home.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
A group of Haitians living in Guyana today launched a protest just outside the Marriott Hotel, where CARICOM leaders are meeting, trying to get their attention on a number of issues. But chief among those issues is the issue of visa restrictions for Haitians to be relaxed to travel to other CARICOM countries. CARICOM leaders are currently in Guyana for their 46th regular meeting. The Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry is among those meeting here in Guyana. On the protest line, Haitian activist in Guyana, Robinson Ducati, said CARICOM leaders appear hypocritical in their stance on the issues related to Haiti. Article 45 of the Treaty of Chaguaramas states that member states commit themselves to the goal of free movement of their nationals within the community. There are specific categories of persons who are eligible for free movement across CARICOM. Although the treaty does not bar travel among member states, CARICOM member states can take steps to prevent mass and illegal migration or the violation of immigration rules. Additionally, there are exceptions to free movement in CARICOM's revised Treaty of Chaguaramas. But the Haitians on the picket line are saying that they need to be respected like other citizens within CARICOM. Currently, there is just one CARICOM country that does not require Haitians to get visas to visit. Tonight, opposition leader Aubrey Norton is calling on the government to listen to the concerns of teachers and make moves to address those concerns, as the nation's children will suffer the most as a result of the ongoing impasse between the government and the nation's teachers who are on strike. Teachers across the country are in their 4th week of strike action, leaving many classrooms empty and students forced to stay home. In a statement today, Mr. Norton said the current strike action appears as if it will continue as long as the government continues to show no interest in meeting with the Guyana Teachers Union.
The government may be thinking that they don't want to show weakness and must hold out against all comers. But let me be clear. This is not a time for one-upmanship. Our teachers are suffering. Our children are suffering. The vendors who work around the schools are suffering. The transportation workers who transport our students and teachers are suffering. Every parent who has a child is suffering. All our people are suffering because this government considers itself above the people and refuses to understand that they are to serve rather than to dictate. And we condemn this intransigence by the government in the harshest terms possible.
The opposition leader reminded the APNU-AFC was faced with similar strike action when in government by teachers, and it acceded to the demands of the teachers. He said this was not weakness or merely a political maneuver, but a recognition of the invaluable contribution of educators to the development of the society.
There's no doubt that the monies are available to pay the teachers and all public servants. And the suggestion that the cost of raising salary for teachers cannot be considered is untenable and unacceptable. Our children should not be held hostage to political brinkmanship. The longer the strike persists, the greater the harm inflicted upon the most vulnerable members of our society.
The opposition leader said the government should note that by its actions it is creating the conditions for all public servants to consider whether they too should come out on the picket line, because as the cost of living skyrockets, wages remain the same.
Linden, grab your rags, your flags, and get ready for the golden hour ahead. Linden Master Manny Festival. 3 days of high energy entertainment as we celebrate after hard work. Starting on Friday the 1st of March with Dark, featuring Guyana's youngest and baddest DJs on one stage at Golden Tasty Food and Bar, 4 Corner Wismar. Day 2, Saturday the 2nd of March. We're heading to Rossville for Access Family 4th Annual Season of Soca Juve. You choose water, paint, powder, or the dry section. And the grand finale on Sunday the 3rd of March, Linden Mash Parade, starting from Bear Rock Junction to Retreat Ground for that mega Matrimony concert. It's the golden hour ahead, Linden Matrimony Festival, starting from Friday the 1st to Sunday the 3rd of March. We're bringing it back home.
At the most critical life-changing moments, the National Insurance Scheme is here to ensure that your needs are covered. Access reimbursement for medical expenses for various aspects of your medical care. We know that eye care is of utmost importance. Receive assistance with our Spectacle Care voucher. Visiting the dentist? Dental care is also covered under our sickness benefit services. Offset the funeral expenses of a loved one with costs covered by our funeral benefits. National Insurance Scheme. We're there every step of the way.
Look at the breathtaking beauty of the Essequibo, from its pristine rivers to its abundant resources. It's a treasure that belongs to Guyana, and we ask Venezuela to respect the rule of international law.
Our commitment to this land is not just about ownership. It's about preserving its beauty and resources for our people and future generations.
The controversy between Guyana and Venezuela was settled internationally as full, perfect and final in 1899. Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
The General Secretary of the Guyana Teachers Union, Coretta MacDonald, today said the nation's children are losing critical hours of learning as the government refuses to address the concerns of thousands of teachers who are on strike. The teachers are demanding that the government meets with their union to discuss salary increases. But after more than 3 weeks of industrial action, the Irfan Ali administration has shown no indication that it is prepared to sit down with the union at this time. The impact on the education sector, MacDonald said, is severe, as a large percentage of the classrooms around the country remain empty. The GTU General Secretary said the public education sector has not yet fully recovered from the COVID-19 pandemic, and the ongoing strike, which is now in its fourth week, will result in further learning loss, much to the detriment of the nation's children.
I am not sure if the Ministry of Education, the Chief Education Officer, the regional education officers, the deputy chiefs, I am not sure whether they are cognizant of that fact, or maybe it's a deliberate effort on their part to prevent the children from being in school. Because if they were concerned, then they would have been ready to talk to the Guyana Teachers Union. They would have been ready to talk to their minister to let her know teachers are important. Losing hours of contact time with our children is even more important, more so because of the fact that our children have the National Grade 6 assessment exams to write.
In addition to the NGSA exams, thousands of students are also preparing for their CXC exams, which are scheduled to commence as early as April. McDonald said the Education Ministry and by extension the government can minimize the impact by simply meeting with the union to address the concerns of the striking teachers.
We have recognized that many of the senior officers within the Ministry of Education, their children are attending private schools. Many of the minister's children, they're attending private schools, so it seems as if there is no care for the poor and the ordinary citizens whose children are attending public schools.
The GTU General Secretary also took a swipe at President Irfan Ali, who is currently hosting CARICOM leaders in Guyana.
Teachers are more than upset that the president of this country has given $2 million to CARICOM, and you're saying to teachers you don't have monies to pay them. Now, if that is not disrespect, then I don't know what else is. And because of the fact that you can find $200 million to give to CARICOM in the face of your teachers being out here, then it is saying that teachers are not valued by you and your government.
The GTU intends to write to some of the visiting regional leaders in the hope of getting the government to the negotiating table. In a majority decision on Monday, the Georgetown City Council agreed that a letter should be sent to President Irfan Ali in an effort to resolve the current dispute over the ownership and usage of the land that the president has earmarked for a $300 million Qatari hotel on Carifesta Avenue. The decision was taken during the council's statutory meeting on Monday in response to the mayor's contention that the land, which was being used by the National Insurance Scheme, was a gift to the city of Georgetown for recreational purposes by former plantation owners back in 1887. The Guyana Lands and Surveys Department, in a statement issued last week, stated that the land located at lots 1 and 2 Plantation Thomas Lands has been the property of the state since 1966. But in support of his position that it is the city council that owns the land, Mayor Mentor presented a 30-member council with a copy of a transport issued to the municipality, which was in the possession of the National Archive. In another majority decision, it was also agreed that should the president fail to respond favorably to the council's request to meet on the issue, the matter would then be taken to the court for a final settlement.
If there's no clarity or there's no success in the discussions with, hopeful discussions with His Excellency and maybe other government people on this matter, the council is prepared to take litigation in this matter.
Ahead of those two decisions, the PP civic councillors challenged the mayor on the matter, telling him that he must provide the evidence to support his claim that the land belongs to the municipality. But the mayor said it is not for him to do that.
It's not the onus of this mayor and city council to provide the evidence. We know where the evidence stand in relation to transport, all right? In relation to the transport concerning this property.
But from where she sat, Councillor Patricia Chase Green shouted that she does not know. It was then that the mayor provided the council with a copy of the transport for the land in question. But that was still not enough to secure the support of the People's Progressive Party councillors on the Georgetown City Council. Chase Green, a former city mayor under the APNU-AFC administration before she switched to the PPP, told the mayor that he was heading down the wrong road. She lobbied for the issue to be discussed at a special statutory meeting and not at yesterday's meeting.
So I have concerns. Bring to the floor what is the council's plan for an area that you came and said to us that we own, which I don't have a problem, I don't know, or that we may own. But we have never, other than choose at least part of it to a helicopter pad man. And I've done nothing since. No development plans, nothing at all.
But the matter was nonetheless discussed on Monday after the APNU used its majority to suspend the standing orders to allow for a discussion on the issue. Offering his contribution, Councillor Leland Saul said based on the evidence before him, the land belongs to the city.
We are claiming, and based on the evidence that I have seen, the land belongs to the municipality. It has nothing to do whether this council is managed by the APNU or the The issue is the asset, the land.
But Councillor Don Singh of the PPP questioned the objection to the developmental plan earmarked for the land. He said the hotel will add to the development unfolding in the city and will cause an economic boom. But the city mayor, while making it clear that the council is not opposed to developments in the city, said the council has the right to defend its property and there are systems to follow even in the execution of development projects. He said to date no document relating to the construction of the hotel has been submitted to the municipality for clearance.
Nothing was provided to us on this issue, so I see the fence is being done and sod has been turned and a whole host of other things. The project document has to start with the council. We must have one rule for everyone. There must be one rule for the citizens of the city. There must be one rule for the central government. And there must be one rule for investors who wants to invest in Guyana. We must not break the rules or bend it to suit anyone.
The government, while maintaining that the land belongs to the state, has said that the hotel will add to the country's tourism product. It is expected to include 260 rooms and 150 apartments, along with conference and other facilities.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall in the region. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brung on Monday said that Haiti's interim leader, Dr. Ariel Henry, needs to step aside and allow for efforts to continue unimpeded in finding a solution to the socio-economic and political situation in Haiti. Brung is among CARICOM leaders attending the 46th regular summit of regional leaders in Guyana, where the Haitian issue has so far dominated the 4-day gathering. In a telephone interview with the Caribbean Media Corporation, CMC, Prime Minister Brung said he believes Henry's presence in the government is part of the problem, as various stakeholders look to find a lasting solution to Haiti's problem that has been increased with the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in July 2021 and the emergence of criminal gangs terrorizing citizens. Brung told CMC that he's of the view that even before any intervention in Haiti to stabilize the French-speaking CARICOM country, the political situation with Henry has to be addressed. Brazil's President Luiz Lula da Silva has set his sights on giving the Global South a larger voice in world decision-making, using his country's presidency this year of the G20 group of largest economies. Lula's call for reform of global governance and the updating of the 8 decades-old United Nations system was amplified at last week's meeting of G20 foreign ministers in Rio de Janeiro. The push continues this week as G20 finance ministers meet in Sao Paulo. However, diplomats said it would be an uphill battle to expand the UN Security Council, where countries with veto powers may pay lip service to the idea, but have long delayed discussions that would dilute their status. Lula, a well-established voice for the developing world, has set reducing hunger and poverty and curbing climate change as priorities under Brazil's G20 presidency. He also wants better representation of the Global South in the multilateral system, including financial institutions set up after World War II, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank. And finally tonight, international news. The number of babies born in Japan fell for an 8th straight year to a fresh record low in 2023. Preliminary government data showed on Tuesday, underscoring the daunting task the country faces in trying to stem depopulation. Reuters, in a report, said the number of births fell 5.1% from a year earlier to 758,631, while the number of marriages slid 5.9% to 489,281. The first time in 90 years, the number fell below 500,000, resulting in a further decline in the population as out-of-wedlock births are rare in Japan. Asked about the latest data, Japan's top government spokesperson said the government will take unprecedented steps to cope with the declining birth rate, such as expanding child care and promoting wage hikes for younger workers. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.